Movement Mortgage 671. That means 6 hours in underwriting. That's where you start underwriting. Think about it.
Yeah. Nice.
7 days in processing. That's where you get everything from your approval. And then 1 day in funding, you're done.
Nice.
Do the math on that. You're closing deals in like 2 weeks. And these guys are hitting it all the time. You might want to check them out by clicking this banner right over there. Or if you're on the Facebook, it would be right up above.
The Facebook.
Drop the. Just Facebook. It's cleaner.
Now I gotta tell you, this is this story kind of trips me out a little bit, guys.
All right.
The CFPB has busted Meridian Settlement Service Providers, that's escrow,
Okay.
for referring title business to a title company that was owned wholly or in part by the Meridian people. They didn't have a form, get this, that disclosed the relationship or the fact that consumers can get their own title insurance. They don't have to use Meridian's. And as a result, Meridian has to pay $1.25 million to the consumers that were harmed. Think it, harmed.
Oh, they were so harmed, man. Show of hands here, people. How many clients have you had in the past
Ever.
who said, "Say, Bob, I think I'm gonna shop for my own title insurance"?
Right, how many? Come on, ever.
None! Zero!
Because it's never happened. And if the CFPB is going to bust Meridian for this, then they need to bust every other title insurance provider because they all have escrow officers and escrow companies, and they're all doing this, and they're all using their company's namesake title insurance. All of them.
Wrong, Brian. Perhaps the others have the form.
Oh, the piece of paper.
Yes, the piece of paper.
Just what we need, Frank. Just what we need. Another piece of paper, another form to bring more clarity to the closing docs. If there's one thing mortgage loan docs need, it's another stinking piece of paper.
They've gone to plaid.
Yeah, the CFPB said Meridian Title illegally steered consumers into purchasing a product from an affiliated company to add to its bottom line. The travesty.
Keep going. This is what they
The
say.
travesty.
Right, keep going.
We're ordering it to halt this practice and pay up to $1.25 million to consumers who were harmed. Language used to elicit a certain response. Harmed! See, I think Meridian helped them. In my opinion, I mean, think about it.
Let's think about this. How would it be, all right, if Meridian said, well, I've got the doc sign thing covered. Your lender did the lending stuff, had it covered. Your realtor did the realtor stuff, got it covered. Which, by the way, includes the lender possibly picking where to send that loan, and the realtor picking the pest guy, the home warranty guy or gal, and the whole house inspector person.
Right.
Probably, most probably, without offering alternatives to this consumer. Were they harmed there? It's not like the consumer would know one way or another. Anyways, but the lender did it. The realtor did it. Yet the settlement service provider steered? You should have added that piece of paper, Meridian. Do you understand this? That you should have added that piece of paper so you could have stayed out of harm's way.
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
Rules over results. Always add more. Well, they're busted.
Yeah.
Hey, for the sake of consistency, the CFPB now needs to bust all other title insurance providers. They do this too. They all do. And you've never had a client who has ever asked, researched, or wanted to research title insurance quotes. Never. This shows how out of touch the Bureau is. Harmed consumers. Harmed consumers. They help them. This is crazy. Anyway, moving on.
I mean, but think about this. Here's the alternative. All right, so we signed your docs. Okay, everybody did all their stuff. Now you need to go find title insurance. Oh, you thought we were going to cover that? No, we don't want to harm you. We know all about it.
Right.
I know you have no idea what it is. We know all about it. We know the ones who provide the best, provide the cheapest. We know everything, but no, we don't want to harm you. Go out and figure it out yourself. We'll wait here till you get it all done. I mean, think of the mentality behind this. It's ridiculous.
Crazy. And you know what? And I think in California and probably other states, when it comes specifically to title insurance and insurance in general, there's laws set up that really help them get regulatory. They're all priced about the same anyway.
They are.
They're priced about the same, no matter what.
All right,
Come on.
This is enforcement for the sake of enforcement. You're not helping anybody, frankly, or harming people. Anyways, on to another story here. So on to another story, which, by the way, also is used to elicit a certain response.
Okay.
Now here's the title. core logic, mortgage lending just got riskier.
Right.
You see, when you say riskier, it suggests that you're starting from a position of risky.
So you're already risky.
Because now it's just riskier. So loans are riskier, when in truth, loans are anything but risky. They're the opposite of risky. They're safe, yet it changes the narrative, or rather manipulates the narrative. It distorts it, it augments the truth, the real narrative, by calling it riskier.
So here's the core logic credit risk indicator that goes back to 2001. Now, to give you an idea, the higher the red line goes, the higher the risk over that period of time. So you see the large bump on the left. That's the lead up to the meltdown. Now on the right, you can see what core logic calls riskier.
Now that level is right around 118. Now at the height of the risk, it was at 225. So as you can tell, loans are riskier than the lowest credit availability indexed number we've ever seen, and I do mean ever. However, they're still pretty darn safe.
So what that tells us is perhaps lenders are loosening things up just a tad, which is probably a response to the lack of inventory of loans that are being written and funded. The point is this: a loosening of credit is not risky, it's good and may create possibilities for clients that you may have passed over in recent years.
So it may be time to dust off some of those old prospects that you guys had, lenders and realtors, because they might just become clients today. It's food for thought. Check it out.
Let us know what your thoughts are on today's show. Leave your comments down below. Please forward this video to others. Subscribe for your upper right-hand corner of our website, and up above on the Facebook, there's a link if you're watching us there.
I'm not wearing pants.
It's not gross. You don't want to see that.
Bye.
Radar about to be jammed.
Sir,
What is it?
can I talk to you, please, sir?
Well,
I'm trying to hear, sir.
you don't need that, Private. We're right here. Now, what is it?
I'm trying to hear, sir.
Now, what is it?
I'm having trouble with the radar, sir.
What's wrong with it?
I've lost the bleeps, I've lost the sweeps, and I've lost the creeps.
The what? The what? And the what?
You know, the bleeps, the sweeps, and the creeps.
That's not all he's lost.
Sir, the radar, sir. It appears to be
Jammed. Jammed. Raspberry. There's only one man who would dare give me the raspberry. Lone Star!